What do you speak of?
Okay, so I have a couple of die that I'm going to use to decide which group is going. Okay.
Can I do it?
I have 2 die because we have 8 groups. There is the red die is the main die. Once group 7 and 8 are eliminated, then I'll just move on to using 1 die. Okay. Now, hey, real quick, I had to tell like 4 people to put their phones away today already. So as we start to get more comfortable with each other, people start to like test the boundaries. There's no boundary for that. Your cell phone needs to stay away during class the whole time. Okay. Research shows that. Say that again.
People without their phones.
Yes. People not looking at their phone during class do better in school.
That would make sense.
Phones were banned at Edison, so kind of like.
Yeah.
No, that's not why they're banned.
Okay,
Well, I
so
thought they were banned.
group 5. There is no 10.
Was it us?
It's okay.
Group 5.
Oh wait, that's us.
That's you. Yeah, your whole group is going up.
Like a game. Like their name is Do you know where?
Tony, you can rest it on the stands if you want. Okay, so you have to hold it. Now, one other thing, keep in mind, right? This is our learning process. So as a class, we're trying to learn what's our major topic of study that we're looking at right now. What have we been doing? Yeah, but overall, right? What have we been learning about?
Misconceptions.
How to design an experiment and what misconceptions are associated with that, okay? So, again, when you're thinking about what questions you might have for a group, make sure they're directed at experimental design. Yeah, okay.
So what we did was we put one petri dish by the window in the sun and one in the cabinet where there was no sun. And we both covered them with filter paper. Seeds in the sun were more colorful, like they got like maybe like black dots or brown dots on them. Green. They were also larger. Seeds in the sun also looked healthier. Seeds in the shade were damp, like they were squishy. Yeah. They all also looked dull in color. The ones in the shade, so they didn't have the green and brown dots on them. Also took longer to sprout, we assume. We don't know that for sure. And then lastly, seeds are smaller than seeds in the sun. Seeds that were in the shade were smaller than the ones in the sun.
We drew, or like I drew some pictures of the like peas and radishes with their roots and stuff. And both of the radishes had little leaves on them, but the one in the sun had like a bigger leaf. And then our graph was of like how long the roots were, and so the one in our sunlight was and then the blue is for the radish, the purple is for the pea, and then this one is for the shade.
We also watered them every day. We didn't do that, but we watered both of them every day, except for Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Sorry, I thought you had something.
Question?
So what were you testing?
See if the seeds would grow as well in the shade as the ones in the sunlight would. They did.
They did.
Yeah. They actually kind of grew better though. Which one is that?
This is
The radish. Like maybe probably over time the ones in the shade would not sprout as well as the ones in the sunlight.
Hang on one sec. How many other people did light versus shade? A couple other groups? Okay, I'll wait then. One clap for that group. One clap.
Thanks for holding on.
Group 4. But group 5 already graduated. So remember, so the white die gets eliminated in that case. Remember that rule? Yeah. Okay.
So we did exposure to like the shade and the light, and so we used both seeds, one reddish and one pink. And then one was like on top of the books over there, and then one was inside the cabinet. And they didn't grow like that much. On the 827, it had no growth, and we had more water. And then the next day, it also hadn't grown, but like over the weekend, it grew. And the radish had like, sprouted, and so and it just shows like on these 2 days, 3 days, 2 days they didn't grow, and then here the pea grow and it was a little bit squishy, and those are the days they grew.
Did you put like a radish and a pea in each of the little things? Okay.
Would you change anything about your experiment? Okay. I thought it was good. Just wondering.
So you have 2 dishes.
Yeah.
One with a radish seed, one with a pea.
That's not what they said when I asked them that
Yeah.
question.
I'm at, oh.
Yeah, it says like you had both
Oh
seeds
no.
and... No, then how does... That's not good then. Yeah,
you're just.
they're different
Well, time
seeds
out,
then.
time out. If you have a question, go ahead and ask them a question. Please don't tell them what you think.
Okay.
We want to try, this is our learning opportunity.
Can I ask it like the Jeopardy way? Like what is, I think you did it wrong? No, that's not a question.
No, that's not a
Okay.
question.
Well, like, how are you sure that like maybe radishes don't grow better in shade than peas do?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not sure what you just asked. So, what did you conclude?
Well,
That neither of them grew very well from the last one.
yeah.
I'm sorry?
Neither of them grew very well from the last one.
Okay.
So, the sunlight and the shade didn't really make a difference.
Okay, so the sunlight didn't make a difference in terms of seed germination. That's your conclusion.
That's.
Okay.
Wouldn't you think they would be testing two variables?
Yeah.
Well,
That was a question. Okay, question 4.
yeah, but
Question mark.
It's a question.
yeah. So when we ask a question, what we want to try to do is develop the ability to ask the question without telling them the answer that we think it is.
That'd be a bad game show.
Do you think you messed up on your experiment? Is that wrong? That's mean, isn't it?
Well, yeah, So
Amanda?
Okay, question. So when you're using the petri dishes, did you like combine like the radishes and like the peas together?
No, they were in a separate.
Okay. Cause like I'm like thinking, I'm wondering if like if you did put them in like the same kind of like petri dish, if the growth rate would change since like they're combined with a different kind of seed. Just wondering.
Well, like, Why didn't you put like a P and a P in the same one?
No,
Well, that's a question.
right, but why didn't you do this?
Yeah.
You could say,
Why did you do that?
why did you do
Why did you do that?
what, but that, they don't know what you mean.
Why did you put like one pea and one radish in different dishes?
Because we wanted to see what would grow better where, so that's why we put pea like by the sun, yeah, and the petri dish inside the cabinet because we want to see how they will grow.
That wasn't the question.
Okay, here's what I'm gonna do real quick.
Good job, Joe.
Nice question. Getting more done. So you have to give me some gum.
Alright, hey, stay with me.
Can I ask you a question?
Hang on. What I put up was the brainstorm list that we came up with of factors that affect seed germination. Okay? And so up there on the list we had sunlight, water, temperature, space, exposure to air, and type of seed. Okay? You with me? Okay. So, based on your experimental design, did you only test one variable? Why? Sorry, when I say why, I don't mean like, why did you do that? What I mean is, how do you know you didn't only test one variable?
Because we used both seeds and they were both in like different sunlight. And like different parts of the sunlight where it like hit and didn't hit, and so that's like different.
Okay. Any other questions for that group?
Emily.
So mine's not really a question. Can I see it?
No.
No? Okay.
No.
Okay, here's my question though. How many variables did you use? That's the question.
So how many variables did you test? 2. So based on your results, do we know which variable affected the seed germination?
Not really, because they both didn't grow at the same time, but then at the end they both grew, so.
Okay. Well, that's good.
Sorry, no, this is a real question.
Yeah, no, that's good. Well, I mean, it may come up during another group, so we'll let them go. They did a great job. Let's give them one clap. Okay. Group 1.
Group 1.
So you see how when I asked her, she figured it out without me telling her, hey, you did too, you know what I mean? Which your question was kind of trying to get them to see that they had, but you were about to tell them they tested 2 variables, but she figured it out on her own, right? So Melanie just learned something,
And I did too.
right, without you telling her though, right? She figured it out on her own.
What? Was I just like,
La la la.
Allow that, that's it.
was I nothing for this experiment? Okay.
Oh, you contributed big time.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna start. Day 1, 1 pea, 1 radish in each dish, watered 1 dish a lot and put it in the sun. Watered other one in little and kept it out of the sun. Should I keep going? Yeah,
we need to know what you did and what
Okay, I
happened.
wasn't here.
We put
Oh,
one pea and one radish in each dish, so there was two dishes. And then one of them we watered a lot and put it in the sun, and then the other one we watered less and put it in the shade. And on the second day, there was no growth, and we watered them again, put them back in places. And then on the third day, the seeds that were in the sun and that were watered a lot sprouted, and the other seeds had no growth. And then the last day, the seeds in the sun like grew a lot and sprouted and stuff, and there was like little leaves and stuff. And then like both the pea and the radish, and then the other seeds had no growth. And that's just a chart that's in the sun that's sprouted. And then that's just a picture.
Emily,
How many variables did you do?
we did three.
Two.
Three or two.
what variables do you think you tested?
Sunlight, water, and intensity.
You,
No, he based it, that's my question. Good job, listener.
Okay, so you only had 2 dishes
yeah,
and you put them in different locations and added different amounts of water?
yeah.
Okay. What about seeds in each dish?
Just two, right?
Yeah.
Two in each
One
dish.
pea, one radish.
Oh, okay. So you had 1 pea and 1 radish seed in each dish.
Yeah,
So would you consider that a variable that would affect,
Probably not, since it's the same.
since you did it the same, probably not? Okay.
Tony,
Oh, which one did you water more again?
The one in the sun.
yeah.
Okay, so based on your results, do we know if we can attribute the seed germination to the amount of water or to whether it was in the sun or the shade?
The one in the sun and the one that was watered more.
Okay. But I guess my question is, do we know if it was the water or the sun?
Because we tested both.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you were to do this experiment again, would you change something?
Like, just test one of them instead of both.
Okay, so how would you do that?
Like, water them the same amount, or put them in the same place,
Or put them in the same
and
place
like water one less.
and add different amounts of water? Okay. Any other questions for that group? One flat.
Hey, where do we put it?
Oh, you can take it with you. Group 3.
There should be a police.
No.
Okay, so we put, 2 seeds of either radish seed and, pea in 2 dishes. We put more water in one and less water in one, and both in the sunlight. That's the graph.
So our our graph is like we have a radish and a pea in each, and then it's days to sprout. So the radish and the one with more water sprouted the first day, and then the pea and the one with more water sprouted the second day. And the radish and the one with less water didn't sprout at all, and the pea sprouted in about like 4 days.
This is the one with more water. This is the one with less water. We give them names.
Pet, Albert, Jerusalem, Jehovah, and Ugly.
So,
Are those biblical names?
What?
Are those biblical names? Like from the Bible?
my mom's.
Hey, first of all, no. He's just kind of making a joke, I think, if you will. Number two, please remember the questions are supposed to be related to understanding the content.
Okay.
Okay.
Did you put both in the sun or both in the shade or
Both in the sun.
Both in the sun.
Both in the sun. So, what did you conclude?
The one with more water sprouted much quicker and was a lot more healthy.
Okay. How much water did you add the first day, let's say?
The first day, we like put a lot of water. Like we smothered it. And then the one with less water was like an okay amount of water, but it wasn't. Yeah.
Okay. So the second day, how much water did you put in the one with more water?
We put in like not too much more. Like we put in some more water, but not a lot. And then the one with less water, we did put in some more water, but like very little.
Okay. So did you put in the same amount of water each day?
About, yeah.
What do you mean about?
Yes, we did.
How do you know you put in the same amount?
We did. I mean, we don't know for sure, but it seemed about the same.
Okay. Why don't you know if you put the same amount in? Like, what was your procedure? How did you add the water?
I put in like the squeezy things.
The pipette?
Yeah, I put in just like 4 in this one, like each day, and then only like 2 in this one each day.
That's a lot.
4 or 5.
So you did put the same amount in each container each time.
Yeah.
You're not sure how much,
Yeah.
but you think it was 4 and 2. Okay.
Yeah.
If you had to recommend, based on the way you design the experiment, if you had to recommend an ideal amount of water to get someone's seeds to germinate, would you be able to do that?
Yeah. 3 or 4 pipettes.
3 or 4 pipettes?
Yeah. That's good enough. It's probably pretty good.
Okay.
What's up, Phil?
What if there's like a really big pipette?
Well, okay, however much that takes in.
Yeah. I mean, I get what you're saying, but
It's just different sizes.
yeah, let's work with them a little bit.
Alright.
Yeah.
Emily.
Would you change anything about this experiment if you had a choice?
What?
She said, would you change anything about the experiment if you had the opportunity?
No, it went wonderful.
I think I would change the name.
Tony.
Is this like testing if you overwater a plant? What would happen if you underwater a plant?
Underwater.
Yeah.
Really? Because like we only use like 2 for each of them. Like pipettes.
Pipette?
Pipettes. We only use like 2 of the whole things for each of them. So I think it might have been overwatering.
Yeah.
You're so smart.
Okay. However, why did you say underwatering?
Because we wanted to see if like
Right. And what happened? They didn't sprout, so what does that lead you to indicate about not having enough water? They need more water. Does that make sense to you? Now, let me ask you this. For radishes, right? How much data or how many data points do you have for each amount of water? 1. So, how could this experiment be improved to really see if the amount of water affects germination?
Look at it more often.
Just look at it. Just give it love and attention.
Look at it more often. What else could you have done? Anybody else out here? What else could they have done to improve the experiment besides look at it more frequently?
Go.
You should have measured it, like measured out the water exactly or approximately.
Okay, it could have measured the exact amount of water. Okay. Is one data point really enough to make a determination?
No, we learned that when we were doing the really pulleys. That's why we had 10 of them instead of just 1 or 2.
So, Gunnar, thank you for saying that, okay? So, it came up, hey, this is important. It came up during the roly-polies that we had 10 so that we had a lot of data to take a look at, right? But so far, every group that we've seen, depending on the seed that you use, either radish, like I know you have 2 seeds, for example, and the one with more water, but how many radish seeds do you have?
1.
Only 1.
Yeah.
So in relation to what we're talking about and what Gunnar said, what's another way that the experiment could have been improved?
Add more seeds.
How would that help your experimental design?
We can see, like, look, I don't know, the way that, like, multiple seeds will react to more water and multiple seeds will react to less water, like,
Okay,
'cause
I mean,
each seed is different.
right, and so you're in the one with less water, your pea seed sprouted, but your radish seed didn't, right? Do we know that if we had 9 more radish seeds in there, that 9 out of 10 of them might have sprouted, and just that is the one that just didn't sprout? Do we know that?
No.
Yeah.
That would affect.
But would that maybe help come to a conclusion and be able to provide a really solid recommendation on the amount of water? Okay, 1 clap.
That would affect another variable, like with all the seeds in one of the petri dishes.
Yeah. So how could you do that?
Get more petri dishes.
Use more petri dishes. What?
Not black.
Group 2 just went. Group 3 went.
You'll let it bind.
Group 6. Oh, my bad. Group 6. Group 6.
Are you gonna need it? At that way?
I wanted to handle them. Sometimes I get in the beer and oh shoot. And then the board's gone. Well,
Okay, so for our lab, we had 2 petri dishes, one with sun, one without sun, and we used 3 pea seeds in each petri dish, and they're watered with 1 milliliter of water a day each. That's the when we were here. And I think, well, I'll tell you the results first. On day 1, we saw no change in either of them. And day 2, we saw no change in either. And this should say since it's day 5, when we got back, we didn't see any change either. And so I think what might have happened was we did not water them enough before we left for the weekend, and that is maybe why they didn't grow. Yes, Emily?
Did you observe any other changes that may have occurred with the seeds?
No.
For each of them, you put the exact same water.
Yep.
So what leads you to that conclusion that you don't think you gave them enough water? Right, I get that.
Looking at the other studies that have been done around the room, most people have grown after the 4 or 5 days, even in the sun. And so, yes, they all watered more than we did. And so, studies show that more water will help the seeds grow.
One clap. Hey, did you only test one variable?
Yes, we did.
They used the same type of seeds in each petri dish. They added the same amount of water. Their only difference was one was in the shade and one was in the sunlight, right?
Well, no, because there are things they want to understand.
Hey, don't erase it. No. Okay. Hey, don't erase your board.
Mr. Nowakowski,
Group 2.
they could have also tested color.
Okay. Group 2.
Let's look at the color.
They tested color. Different places different colors. It's a valid point.
Okay, so we did 2 different tests for 2 different variables. So our first test was to test the water, and we had 1 petri dish with 5 radish seeds, and we put 1 milliliter of water in that every day, and that was in the sunlight. And then we had another petri dish with 5 radish seeds also, but we put 3 milliliters of water in that one every day, and we put that in the sun. And our results were that the ones with 3 milliliters of water, only 2 out of the 5 radish seeds sprouted, so we think we might have overwatered those a little bit. And then the 1 milliliter one, 4 out of the 5 sprouted, so we think that 1 milliliter a day would be a good amount.
Any questions on that part of the experiment?
Which one did you guys put the 1 milliliter in again? Is that with the radishes or with the peas?
We did all that.
They did all radishes, right? You had 5 seeds in each one.
Oh, so is that like 1 milliliter per seed
No, like
for the entire thing? Oh, dude, that's.
The radishes and peas.
Well, typically we wait until they grow like into what we're trying to make. No.
Okay, well, we have a second test too. So that one tested light versus dark. So for both of the petri dishes, we did 5 radishes and 5 radishes like we did before. And we put 1 milliliter a day in both of them. But we put one of the petri dishes in the drawer and one by the sunlight. And it turned out that the one by the sunlight got like really big and like light green, and the ones like in the drawer, they were like kind of long, except they were yellow and white and a little bit brown, so they didn't look as healthy.
Okay.
And, yeah. And the leaves were yellow.
Okay. Let's see if we can answer this question based on your experiment there. Do seeds need sunlight to germinate?
Not necessarily, but it makes it healthier.
Okay. Any other questions for that group? One clap. Group 7.
Yeah. And so do they. And so do they.
7, 8. Yep, you're up.
Actually, it makes more sense for 6. Hey, Matt.
Can we erase these?
No, please don't.
I don't want you to. experiment was like testing the color, texture, germination, size, and shape for both peas and radishes over time. Over 3 days, yeah.
Well, technically 5 days, but we only put the 3 days in that we could observe.
And this is for the peas, of course. And the peas, overall, like the color did not change over the 3/5 days. It see like a creamy kind of like white color. The texture, the first day was bumpy. Second day smooth and then bumpy. And then we also recorded the germination that occurred that we thought was different from like the day before. And the first day didn't really germinate, we didn't see any growth. Second day, no. Third day, yeah. So we saw
Had a little bit of germination. Third day.
we saw sprouting, and we actually saw some leaves occur too. And then size, like the first day when we got it, we watched it watched it put in the petri dish, put water on it to let it like soak in. It it became 1.5 inches, and then day 2 became 1 inch, and then day 3 stayed the same. And then the shape, we recorded that it was round at first, and then it became round / squarish, and then went back to round. Oh wait, sorry. Oh.
With the radishes, the color sort of stayed the same, except for on the third they only had the germination like over here. You can see that they started getting green, so it was like brown and then green. And then the texture was also, and we got germination quicker on the radishes than we did on the peas. And for the radishes, we put that more in the sunlight than the peas, like I would put half. Get like half sunlight on the peas just to see what happens. And I water these more than I water these. These got big about 1 inch.
Obviously, the stands for the radishes and the people stand for the peas. And so the radishes had a more process of germination.
Because they had enough sunlight.
And then the picture that we were showing is this is the filter paper that we put in the petri dish, and then with the seeds that we're going to grow. And this just shows like the last day that we found it, which was Monday, and what occurred and what it looked like if we still had them. So the radishes, you can see that they sprouted a ton. And they grew in size and also in color, and they also grew leaves too. Go ahead.
Did your group test only one variable?
Isn't the sunlight and the water thing that I explained 2 different ones? Or is that
Did you add different amounts of water?
Yeah.
And you had one in some sun? And,
Yeah.
yeah, so would that be 1 or 2 variables? That's 2 variables. So do we know which variable affected the germination?
I think
In the water.
If we tested 2, do we know which one had an impact?
No.
No. 1 clap. Okay, don't erase your boards, by the way, and the last group will go tomorrow, okay?
Oh.